Do you know what one of the worst things about being a widow is? It's the widow tax penalty. Hey, Paul Mauro, Smart Financial, welcome back. I will just tell you that in 52 years of running a financial practice, we've had a lot of our great clients pass away over the years and leave widows or widowers, and it's called being suddenly single, which is, it's okay if you're a 22-year-old going off to college and all that sort of thing, but it's not so great if you're an 82-year-old and all of a sudden you're shocked that you have to start paying a higher tax rate because not only did you lose your best friend that you've been traveling with, on the path of life for years, but then you go to a single rate from a married rate. Now, let me tell you how dramatic this is. I'm just going to use a simple example. When we do our modeling for older couples, if you're between 55 and 75, and you've got retirement money or other significant income, what's going to happen is the joint tax bracket is going to be, for the average American around 22%. And then your spouses die and you jump to a 32% tax bracket. Let's just talk about New England balances for the time being. If you have $1 million IRA and you leave it to your spouse, and it's unisex, by the way, it's the widower or widow's penalty. You leave it to your spouse, you will still have to take out those required minimum distributions. You can't get out of it unless, of course, you do a Roth conversion, which is the topic of one of my other videos. One of the things about going from a 22% tax bracket to a 32% tax bracket is that your tax bill on required minimum distributions from 75 to 91 goes from $141,000 to $220,000. It's an $80,000 hit. Now, what's interesting about that is a lot of people say, oh God, Roth conversion is too expensive. It's too expensive. They don't think about the three big back-end costs. If you do not do a Roth conversion and you keep a traditional IRA and then you pass away, yes, the only person who can inherit an IRA and not pay a tax is your spouse. Everybody else is a non-spouse. That's your kids, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, whatever. You can leave all the money to charity. And if you're a generous person, I will tell you, we have had folks who've left all their money to their temple, all their money to the church, all their money to, some charitable organization. So this is not for them. This is for someone who's leaving money to their spouse, and their spouse might want to still use some of that money during their retirement. The required minimum distributions are going to get forced out at a higher tax bracket. That's tax hit number one. Tax hit number two, even if you live on these distributions for the next, 15, 20 years to age 91, and then you pass away, then on top of what you paid, it goes to the kids and they pay income tax at their rate. It's a double tax hit. So even if you're being very careful and you don't want to spend the principal and you start off with $1 million and maybe you end up with a number like 800,000 in there, the kids are going to pay 300,000 in taxes on that. 40% at least, even if they don't live in New Jersey, New York, California, where the taxes can get to 50. So let's do the smart thing. When you're looking at the reasons that people do Roth conversions, one of the number one reasons is to protect their spouse from overpaying. Number two is to protect their children from overpaying. Number three is to reduce their IRMA. I spoke to somebody just the other day. Their IRMA cost is $562 a month each for them and their wife. You know how much that is? $12,000 a year. That's $240,000 in a typical retirement. So if you do a Roth conversion and we can get you out of your IRA and into a Roth for 15 or 20% in taxes, that's going to be nothing compared to what the back end taxes are. So to find out more about how to avoid widows penalties, widower penalties, IRMA upcharge, taxes on the kids, reach out to us online. Leave us questions and comments. Share this with your friends that are over 55 years old. And by all means, subscribe to the channel. Staying on top of avoiding widow and widower penalties, that's just part of the art of being smart.